What would happen if you acquired one of the most prestigious brands in the world, injected $5 billion into it, and then accidentally destroyed its entire reputation just by trying to make it more efficient? Typically, this doesn't usually happen. Capital plus operational efficiency usually yields scale, right? Well, not always. Hi, I'm Alonzo. I'm the founder of Alofil. I've been driving organic growth since I was 15 years old, and today I'm walking you through the 4 things that most founders get wrong about scaling a premium brand, using arguably the biggest marketing fail in human history for any automotive brand, Jaguar. You see, most founders treat premium pricing in the volume game. They assume that if people will buy a high enough price product, then just lowering the price will capture the entire middle of the market. But premium marketing is fundamentally a different game, and it follows a completely different set of rules. For 99% of products, as soon as you lower the price, demand will typically go up. But premium brands are different. They're what economists call Veblen goods. These are products where high price tags actually signal product integrity. The perceived scarcity, the financial pain of acquiring it is exactly why consumers want it in the first place. And Ford Motor Company learned this the hard way in 1989. You see, Ford, they were the kings of volume, selling millions of cheap products to millions of consumers. But they also wanted prestige. So they bought Jaguar for billions of dollars. And reasonably so, their immediate instinct was to apply the same logic to a Veblen product. They wanted to play the volume game. So they tried to make Jaguar compete with entry-level luxury brands, efficiently trying to sell exclusivity to the mass market. And it's called the illusion of operational synergy. Without actually understanding what makes a premium product premium, executives will typically try to find shortcuts. Ford decided it would be a good idea to build their brand new luxury Jaguar on the same exact platform as the Ford Mondeo, a mass market middle-class consumer car. Put a beautiful Jaguar shell on it and then charge a massive markup. Most marketers fundamentally ignore the psychology of the aspirational buyer. The whole purpose of an aspirational purchase is to create a physical separation from the middle market. And when the X-Type launched, the automotive press immediately lit it on fire. They called it the Mondeo in drag. The second the public realized the car was biologically just a Ford, it created a massive cognitive dissonance. And the wealthy purists and enthusiasts abandoned the brand and it lost its distinction. But what Ford was not expecting was the middle class also abandoned it as well. And that's because signal integrity is ubiquitous. Regardless of the class type, the concept of a premium discrepancy differentiating the middle to the top remains the same regardless of which buyer type you're looking at. But there's an idiosyncrasy to that as well. See, true luxury, true premium position actually requires a deliberate inefficiency. The X-Type was a catastrophic failure because Ford tried to operationalize the supply chain of a status symbol. But that was just the beginning of the downfall. So let's talk about where things really went wrong. A 30-second advertisement from one of the most premium automotive brands in the world and not a single car. And obviously, the internet noticed.
What were they doing?
What was that?
What are they doing?
What was that?
You didn't see the Jaguar ad?
Even Elon Musk said, "Do you even sell cars?" The post hit 160 million views in 48 hours. A German poll said that 93% of respondents called it creepy. And the results? 5 months later, Jaguar sold a whopping 49 cars across all of Europe, down from the 1,961 from the year prior. That is a 97.5% sales collapse. But most people blame the advertisement, but not the brand itself. You see, this advertisement was just a symptom of a long string of executive decisions made by Jaguar themselves. Only 3 years prior, a decision that nobody outside of the industry actually understands. And once you actually understand it, you'll realize Jaguar didn't accidentally destroy its brand. Jaguar essentially planned to destroy its sales. The Copy Nothing ad campaign didn't launch in a vacuum. It was a visible surface of a strategy that started in 2021. The plan, internally called Reimagine, was simple but brutal. They said kill the entire existing Jaguar lineup, exit the volume luxury market, reset the damage that Ford had done by completely exiting the luxury market to begin with, and then relaunch as an ultra-premium electric brand, competing with Bentley and Rolls-Royce. That meant killing the XE, XF, killing all of the F-Type cars, killing the I-Pace, and scrapping a nearly production-ready electric XJ that already had been engineered. By June 2024, Jaguar had stopped production of cars entirely in all of Europe. By the time that the Copy Nothing ad ran in November, dealerships had literally nothing to sell. The Type 00, the concept car that was meant to replace the entire lineup, was originally scheduled for late 2025 production, with deliveries as early as 2026. That is 2 years later, with a $130,000 starting price. So when you see a 97.5% sales collapse, this isn't just a brand accidentally failing within a market. This is a brand that deliberately stopped selling. And the executives running it even publicly stated that they only expected 10 to 15% of their existing customers to even come along to begin with. That's not marketing strategy, that's controlled demolition. Here's something that Glover said in his Financial Times interview. The average age of a Jaguar client is quite old, and they're getting older. We've got to access a different audience. Premium brands don't fail because their audience is too old. They fail because they stop being the obvious choice for the audience that they initially built it for. The audience aging out isn't the problem. Brand failing to compound its trust into the next generation is. When you access a completely different audience, you're not expanding, you're simply abandoning, and your die-hard audience literally just watches you walk away. And the new audience you're choosing has no history with you, meaning zero trust, zero equity, and zero reason to believe authentic reasoning behind the move. Heritage is not nostalgia. It's not a logo. It's a distribution channel for trust. What do I mean by that? Every story your brand has earned, every legacy product, every founder photo, every credential is a piece of infrastructure that delivers belief into a buyer the moment they begin considering an expensive purchase. When a premium buyer sees a 90-year-old brand, they're not buying the past, they're buying the implied confidence that the past signals something about the future. And in November 2024, when Jaguar deleted its entire social media base, it deleted every piece of brand history and credibility that it spent so long establishing. Every testimonial, every case study. Truthfully, Jaguar's leadership is not stupid. The Reimagine plan was a calculated response to a brand that by 2022 was only selling 67% of the cars that they were selling only a few years prior. They genuinely had a real problem. And rather than fight a losing battle in the volume luxury segment against BMW, Audi, and Mercedes, companies with significantly more revenue and cash, they would just exit the fight and then rebuild a higher pyramid elsewhere. And truthfully, that's defensible reasoning, but it was executed too quickly. When you stop selling your inventory 2 years prior to having the new inventory, you're not transitioning anymore, you're just disappearing.